Since 2014, the revolutionary force in retro entertainment. Hey guys, Retro here. Today I'm going to talk about this Marvel Encyclopedia, the definitive guide to the characters of the Marvel Universe. So you see it's a pretty cool cover here. I'm assuming this is a very old edition of the book, probably before the MCU, but anyway, I'm not going to flip through the whole book. I'm just going to talk about some of my favorite characters that I grew up with and stuff like that. So, the first character I'm going to talk about or check out is yeah, it's a pretty massive book. I could barely fit it into frame here. Here we go. Take off this sticky here. Okay. It's your friendly neighborhood Spooderman, also known as Spider-Man, S-P-I-D-E-R-man. Or hyphen, I guess I should say. And there he is. He's going. But anyway, yeah, let's see what we can see here. I'm not going to read all of this, but real name, Peter Benjamin Parker. Occupation, freelance photographer, science teacher, based New York City. Height, 5'10", weight 170 pounds. Eyes, hazel, hair brown. First appearance, Amazing Fantasy number 15, August 1962. That's just incredible. And there it is, first appearance there. Spider-Man. And okay, let's read this little intro paragraph here. Peter Parker's parents died in a plane crash while he was still a child. When they said goodbye at the airport, his parents told him to be a good boy for his Aunt May and Uncle Ben Parker, who later raised him as their own son. Peter always thought of his Uncle Ben as his best friend. Not only did Ben Parker spend quality time with the boy, he had a great sense of humor and many hours telling jokes and pulling gags on Peter, who developed a real appreciation for quips and pranks. So that explains where he gets his humor from. I didn't know that. Peter studied hard in school and became an honor student. Although his teachers praised him, the other students had little use for a know-it-all little puny Parker. The girls thought him too quiet, and the boys considered him a wimp. And then, yes, we all know the origin. He gets bit by the spider. He gains cool superpowers, and then he blames himself for his Uncle Ben's death. And he decides to use his powers for good. With great power comes great responsibility. He says, all my fault, if I had only stopped him when I could have, but I didn't, and now Uncle Ben is dead. Or she's talking about Sandman. I'm just kidding. I mean, that's how they retconned it in the second Raimi Spider-Man movie, but anyway. So yeah, just a really awesome character. Always been my favorite since childhood. I think, besides the fact that he looks cool and he can jump around and stuff like that, and he has the webs. He's also, like, he's not overpowered, I feel like, compared to most Marvel superheroes or villains. He's underpowered, he's always the underdog. And he has to make it up by using his brains or his humor or any way that he can to win. So, and yeah, he's just like a real dude in real life, like, well, not real life, but you know what I mean, is, as Peter Parker, just dealing with everyday stuff that I think a lot of people can relate to. He's not a billionaire, he's a scientist, but, you know what I mean, he just has a regular job as well, just trying to take care of Aunt May and, make sure his friends are okay, kind of thing, trying to, have some kind of a love life, but that always seems to not end well, but anyway. So there it is, Spooderman. Not much else to say. I talked a lot about him before. Okay, now we're gonna look at possibly my second favorite Marvel superhero. If we can find him. Good thing it's in alphabetical order. Wait a minute, hang on a second. Yeah, it should be around here somewhere. Okay, here. Oh no, it's on the next page. The next couple of pages. Bam! Take this off. Okay. It's IRONMAN, Iron Man, the $1 billion man. There he is, looking all cool. There's Tony Stark. So a real name, Anthony Stark. Wait a minute, I thought his name was Tony Stark. I'm just kidding. Occupation, businessman, and philanthropist. I'm having trouble talking today. I think I said that right. Hero and leader of the Avengers. Base, Stark Tower, Avengers Tower, Manhattan, New York. 6'1", 225 pounds, eyes blue, hair black. First appearance, Tales of Suspense, number 39, March 1963. I thought Captain America was a leader of the Avengers, but I don't know. I don't know, bro. Okay, so yeah, let's read a little bit here. Billionaire, industrialist, and philanthropist, Tony Stark is perhaps the most influential superpowered individual on the planet. While Professor X has the respect of Earth's mutant community, Stark's work as Iron Man, his long-term membership of the Avengers, and position as head of Stark International arguably gives him an even wider authority. Let me read one more paragraph here. The son of a wealthy industrialist, Tony Stark's parents died in a car crash. It's like every superhero's parents dies in some kind of crash. When he was young, leaving him their business conglomerate. Of course, we saw in the MCU, that was really Bucky that kills him or something like that. Or someone kills them and there's like weird security footage. Anyway, Stark Industries taking over the company when he was 21. In retrospect, some of Tony's early business decisions were ethically circumspect. That's a weird word. An engineering prodigy, many of Tony's earliest inventions were designed for use by the U.S. military, and it was his dealings with the Army that ultimately led him to create his Iron Man armor. Developing many transistors for use on the battlefield, Tony traveled to Vietnam to see them in use. On the ground, the trial ended badly when exploding bomb left a piece of shrapnel dangerously close to his heart. Tony was captured by the North Vietnamese warlord Wong Ju. So basically similar to the movie, just like a different enemy, I suppose. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. I guess that was the original. Oh, this was the original Iron Man costume, the suit of armor. Anyways, yeah, just a cool character. I love the look and aesthetic of the suit and the fact that you can be just like a normal human being. Just put that suit on and you're so powerful. And of course, he's a flawed individual with his alcoholism and stuff like that. So, pretty cool character. I didn't know much about him before the MCU, but the MCU gave me a lot of respect for the character, made me more interested, and Robert Downey Jr., of course, is the perfect Iron Man, so. Okay, who's next up? Who is next? Let's see. Okay. It's a big book. It's a lot of characters. It's hard to grab individual pages here. I'm trying my best. Nope, that's not it. There we go. Let's move this up a bit. There we go. We'll take this off. It is Wolverine. Wolverine. The best there is at what he does. Hey, doesn't CM Punk say something like that? But what he does isn't pretty. Oh, he doesn't say that part. occupation adventurer. I don't know if that's an occupation. Base, the Xavier Academy, Solemn Center, Westchester, New York. Height 5'3", weight 195 pounds, eyes brown, hair black. First appearance, Incredible Hulk, number 180, October 1974. Oh, I didn't know he first appeared in a Hulk. And I guess that's the first Wolverine issue. Such a cool cover. Kind of similar to that. Standing on a pile of bodies, it looks like. Yeesh. Okay, born at the turn of the century, James Ellett, the man who would one day become known and feared as Wolverine, was a sickly child, but he was also born a mutant, gifted with the remarkable ability to heal virtually instantaneously from almost any wound. He also had razor-sharp claws made of bone, and a fact he first became aware of when, during a domestic dispute, he accidentally unsheathed his claws for the first time, killing his assailant. Wow, that's pretty gruesome. Just another great character. I first became a fan when I watched the X-Men animated show in the 90s, early to mid 90s. Like I knew about him before that, but that's what really made him stick out in my mind. I like the fact that, well, besides the fact that he's badass in the claws and everything, but he's a mysterious character and he doesn't even know his own origins. And I remember that episode of X-Men when they sort of explored that, and it showed how he got the like all the Weapon X stuff and all that stuff. So great character. And yeah, in the X-Men movie, yeah, movies. Yes, Hugh Jackman is too tall for Wolverine. He's only supposed to be 5'3", but who cares? He's still, I think, the best portrayal of Wolverine that I can possibly think of. But who knows what future actors they'll get to play the role. Okay, we're gonna move on here. Okay. You might have to use your binoculars to see this one. It is Thanos. Thanos. Look at the small. This is how I know that this is, at least before they were even thinking of using Thanos as, in Infinity War and stuff. Go small. Like at this, I'm sure the new edition of this book is like a double page spread. I mean, all he did was wipe out half the universe. Deserves more than this little thing. But anyway, first appearance, Iron Man, number 55, February 1973. It's fitting that doesn't Iron Man end up killing him in Endgame and in himself in the process? I don't know, I can't remember. My memory's crap. Occupation Conqueror, I wonder how much that pays. Base Sanctuary 3. Height 6'7". That he was taller than that. In the movies they make him look like he's like 8 feet. But he's a heavy guy, 985 pounds. Eyes red, hair none. Special powers and abilities: synthesizes ambient cosmic energy for use in a variety of ways, from increasing strength to firing energy blasts. Also possesses a personal force field and other devices. So yeah, we all know the story. I remember, I had the Infinity, I still have the Infinity Gauntlet series, the 6 issues, so I'm missing one of them, but so I always remember that as a kid, really being interested in the character and the whole story. It was so cool that all the characters, not all the characters, but most of the Marvel Universe came in to battle him, and then of course, they did that in the MCU, and then I did my video on the Infinity Gauntlet comics, and that's by far my most viewed video ever, probably ever will be. But yeah, I love the concept of the Infinity Gauntlet. It's good stuff. Interesting character, to say the least. An important character, to say the least. Okay, now we're gonna go on to, let's see. This one here. Okay, I'm gonna have to Case, the Xavier Institute, Salem Center, New York State. Height 5'8", weight 120 pounds, eyes green, hair brown. First appearance, Avengers Annual number 10, 1981. So, okay, let's read a bit about this. As a girl, a mutant called Rogue lived in Mississippi, orphaned. Rogue ran away and was adopted by Mystique and Destiny. Rogue's mutant power manifested itself when she kissed her friend Cody Robbins, involuntarily absorbing his memories. In her teens, Rogue joined Mystique's terrorist group, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. After fighting the original Ms. Marvel, Rogue had superhuman strength, durability, and the power of flight. Distraught over her inability to control the absorption power, Rogue turned to her enemies, the mutant X-Men, for help. So that's pretty cool. I remember, once again, from the X-Men animated show, and I always thought she was cool. She was badass. She kicked a lot of ass in the show, excuse my language, but in the movie, I felt like they didn't really portray that. I guess she didn't get to the point where she absorbed Ms. Marvel's powers yet. And I do remember them talking about that in the animated show too, so I thought her origin is very interesting. And so another interesting character that I always remember from back in the day. Okay, what are we going to now? Okay, let's go to... We're gonna go this way. This way. We're looking for number 6 here. Okay, there it is. Alright. Thehulk, the Hulk, the strongest man-like creature on Earth. There he is, all jacked and stuff. The Hulk can withstand cannon fire. Yeah, this is maybe my third favorite character, at least from childhood anyway. He's just such a recognizable character that I think most people know, you know what I mean, worldwide. I used to watch the TV show with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno, even though, I probably just, main thing I wanted to see was the Hulk. I probably didn't really understand much of the show, or thought it was boring, I'm guessing, back then, but, lately I've been watching it again, and it's actually pretty good, and I'm watching now more for the Bruce Banner moments rather than, or David Banner moments rather than the Hulk moments, because they're kind of cheesy by today's standards, but it's still an enjoyable show to watch. I would recommend it. If you can handle 70s TV shows, I believe it was the 70s. Real name, Robert Bruce Banner. See, I didn't know that his first name was Robert. I learned that when I was reading this. I thought it was just Bruce Banner, because it's interesting on the show, they changed it to David Bruce Banner, and then usually just call him David Banner, because I think the producers or whatever didn't like the alliteration or something, I don't know. Occupation, scientist wanderer, okay. Base mobile, height 7 feet, weight 1,040 pounds, eyes green, hair green, first appearance, Incredible Hulk number 1. Oh, and that's cool, that's his first issue. He looks gray though in this. I know he becomes gray eventually. And I heard that originally they wanted to make him pink. I can't remember if this was for the show or it was for the comic. I thought it was for the comic. I could be wrong. But yeah, interesting that he's gray, at least on this cover. He appears to be gray. Oh, someone's getting slapped there. So yeah, another classic Marvel character. One of my favorites. Not much more to say about him. Okay. Oh, I like him in the MCU too. But as portrayed by Mark Ruffalo. He's not a perfect character, but they really got the CG looking really good these days. So Okay, so that was that. I forgot to take this off. To speed through these a little bit quicker because time's running out. Okay, we're on number 7. That's a great picture of plot, by the way, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about B-L-A-D-E, Blade. Real name Eric Brooks, occupation vampire hunter, base mobile, height 6'2", weight 180 pounds, eyes brown, hair black. First appearance to Dracula Volume 1, issue number 10, July 1973. Didn't realize the character was that old. And that actually looks like an older Wesley Snipes here. But anyway, I think I didn't even realize for a long time that Blade was a comic character. I knew him from like I said, the Wesley Snipes movies. I love the first 2. The third one is crap. But I think the first movie is pretty. I don't think it gets enough praise because it's quite, groundbreaking in a lot of ways. Like, you gotta realize this is before, I believe, before Spider-Man, before Matrix, before X-Men. And you see a lot of the Matrix style techniques, kind of like the bullet time kind of stuff that they use in, maybe not, the same exact way that they did in the Matrix, but it was definitely ahead of its time. And, maybe I haven't seen it in a long time, so maybe I can't remember how good it holds up, but from what I remember, it holds up pretty well today too. So, and of course Wesley Snipes is a perfect actor to choose for Blade, so I always really enjoyed that movie. Not sure if I like the first or the second one better, but yeah, I remember the third one, I think it had Triple H in it or something, and I think Ryan Reynolds was in it too, oddly enough. But yeah, at least Ryan Reynolds was in like so many comic book movies, but at least he finally got it right with Deadpool, that's for sure. But yeah, born half vampire, when his mother was fatally bitten by vampire Deacon Frost while giving birth, Blade was brought up by vampire hunter Jamal Afari. Dracula later transformed Afari, and Blade was forced to kill his foster father. Now nursing 2 grudges, Blade set out revenge against both Dracula and Deacon Frost. During his quest, he allied with Quincy Harker. I guess that's the old guy with the long white hair in the movie. Rachel Van Helsing and Frank Drake against Dracula, while vampire detective Hannibal King assisted him against Frost. So yeah, another cool character there. Okay. Yeah. Flip the page here. Now we go to... I'll take this off first. I think the first villain, if you can call him that I'm talking about here is L-O-K-I, Loki. Loki, god of mischief with a will to rule Asgard. Really cool drawing of him here. And let's see, real name Loki Laufeyson, I think that's how you say it. God of mischief, later god of evil, base Asgard. Height 6'4", weight 525 pounds. Eyes green, hair black or gray. First appearance, Journey into Mystery, Volume 1, number 85, October 1962. So yeah, to be honest, like I never used to really like the Thor comics, but again, the MCU got me interested, and especially Loki. I think because Tom Hiddleston is such a good actor, and I really like the way he plays Loki, that got me more interested in Thor, the lore of Thor, so to speak. And it's funny that you can see footage of Tom Hiddleston auditioning to play the role of Thor, and thank God he did not get that role, because he wasn't a good Thor, but he's an amazing Loki, so everything worked out in the end. But the footage is pretty funny to see. I'm pretty sure he's talking in an American accent, which is weird. I'm sure maybe they told him to talk that way, I don't know, but it was an odd choice. He looked more like a surfer dude or something like that. profile, but interesting thing about him is that you never, like, yeah, he's evil, and sometimes you hate him, but then sometimes you like him, because he redeems himself. But is he really redeeming himself, or is that just another one of his tricks, you know what I mean? Very interesting character in that sense. Okay, just one more to go in this episode. Take this off, and it is Venom. V-E-N-O-M. Venom. Edward Charles Eddie Brock. Occupation former journalist, later vigilante. Base New York City. Height 6'3". Weight 260 pounds. Eyes blue. Hair reddish blonde. First appearance The Amazing Spider-Man number 298 of March 1988. And there he is. That's how he sounds. He goes, Spider-Man. But, see, while Spider-Man was on the Beyonders battle world, he acquired a black costume which turned out to be an alien being that bonded itself to him. Spider-Man rejected the alien symbiote, which then latched onto an ex-Daily Globe columnist, Eddie Brock. He had wrecked his career by identifying the wrong man as a murderer known as the Sin Eater, an error revealed by Spider-Man. Brock also had cancer. See that? I didn't know the cancer part. So it's good to learn these things. And had resolved to kill himself. Wow. When the symbiote bonded with Brock, the cancer went into remission as Venom. Brock became one of Spider-Man's deadliest rivals and foes. When Brock's cancer returned, he told the symbiote to what? Oh, he sold the symbiote to Grand Boss Don Fortunato, who gave it to his son Angelo as a second Venom. Angelo attacked Spider-Man, but the symbiote deserted him mid-battle. Angelo fell to his death. The symbiote then bonded with Spider-Man's enemy, Mac Gargan, the Scorpion, who became the third Venom. I only care about the Eddie Brock Venom. So what happened? Did he die of cancer then? I don't know. Somebody fill me in on that one. But yeah, another really cool character. He looks cool. He's powerful. Again, he seemed to be more powerful than Spider-Man. Kicked his butt a few times. So just a really cool concept. And I remember having a few Venom comics as a kid. I still have them, and that's how I first knew about him. And then, of course, the animated Spider-Man, I think it was just called Spider-Man, show in the 90s. He was on that too. But he was alright on that show, but he was better in the comics, in my opinion. But anyway, so that's it for this episode.